Hybrid was developed in 1997 by Motive Time, who had seen its Commodore 64 heyday of developing licensed games come and go, and was then working on home console ports and budget titles during the 90s. MIDAS, exemplifying how they were the mark of quality for PlayStation 1 distribution, did not get round to releasing Hybrid until the 12th of April 2002, a whole 5 years after its release in Japan on November 27th. As Hybrid was only released in 2 countries at the twilight of the PS1's lifespan, as well as being a frustratingly undertested experience to play, not much is known about this particular and peculiar entry in the pocket-priced line of Midas PlayStation 1 releases. Amazingly, a dedicated article on Hybrid does exist out there on talonbrave.info, courtesy of Mark Soden, and pretty much all of the background info the review contains here will be from this post. The article is made up mostly of quotes from Jason McPhee, the developer who created the artwork that is seen in the game. From there, things get really predictable as McPhee brings up several hurdles the development team encountered while developing Hybrid, such as being unable to lock down an art style, as well as the development team being massively downsized to just 2 people at a point where the game was far from completed. The Doom and Quake influence is obvious here, as all of the levels are open plan. I found most of them quite hard to navigate due to the low draw distance and all of the wall textures looking the exact same. This is where the aforementioned indecisiveness in Hybrid's art design becomes a hindrance to gameplay, as the bland environments make navigation very difficult. Level 2 is especially bad as it was just one vast white exterior with very generic textures, and it's very easy to get yourself lost, which I did, spending over 10 minutes trying to find a hidden switch that I couldn't find without a playthrough due to no hints in the game other than "doesn't this play like Doom? Wink wink." None of this being helped by the game's very low draws distance, like I said, even by PS1 standards. This level was so frustrating that I almost considered canning this review, but almost as if the devs knew, level 3 starts you off with plenty of ammo and a large shootout, and the gameplay got a little better after that. It was mostly bland empty arenas from there on, but there was a diversity in assets and even shading, which meant I could gather my bearings more and not try to spend another half hour trying to get through this level. But unfortunately, most of the level design is equally as bland and lets down what otherwise is a very entertaining build engine type first person shooter. Also, no analog support. I know this is a game from 1997, but since not even mobile ports of first person shooters use digital controls anymore, I feel like I need to warn you. When a video game development team is understaffed, what usually happens is something called developer difficulty, in which a game's difficulty is tailored to those who created it. Developers are incapable of testing the game for consumers because they are too familiar with it. It is a form of groupthink that is very easy to fall into, and this is why games like Hybrid feel so unintuitive to play. They have been designed with the impression that you have played it already about 30 times or so. This is common with video game projects that undergo crunch, especially in the days before broadband, to the point where such infuriating difficulty was considered just the style of the time, rather than incompetent upper management leaving their mark on the final product. But gameplay wasn't the reason I was attracted to Hybrid in the first place. It was more to do with, first, its obscurity, and secondly, being an atypical product of its era, not just in its concept of being a low-budget 2D ripoff of Quake. By far the most enduring quality of Hybrid is the enthusiasm for world building found within the restrictive boundaries of a budget PS1 title. From the blurb found within the manual alone, you can tell that a lot of effort went into making the world you inhabit in this game as believable as possible. Genuine passion for your work will always shine through, no matter how sparse the resources or frustrating the process might be, and Hybrid is a testament to that. I mean, yeah, the art style is all over the place, and at times it does look like it was made with a NetURLZ dev kit, but I would say that this actually is one of the game's biggest strengths. Its rough sketch presentation is like an unfiltered collage of late 90s pop culture influences, from manga to cyberpunk to even, of course, Y2K. The optimism and enthusiasm for the oncoming 21st century is exemplified here, even if it's depicted as a dystopia being born out of an alien test tube. Right, let's wrap this up. Hybrid lets you choose between a selection of 4 characters, each with their own exclusive stats, starting weapons, and even storylines. It is a neat touch which is wasted on such bland level design. Also, I need to mention the voice work. It's absolutely adorable.
Toys for the boys.
Yes!
Obviously, all of it was done in-house, with a character with a design like this, having the voice of someone like this. And I love it. 10 on 10. The sound design, usually the strongest aspect of any PlayStation game in my opinion, is basic, horribly compressed, yet undeniably satisfying.
Yeah!
Every gun sounds like a beast, and it makes the otherwise weightless combat feel super fun. In conclusion, Hybrid was a fun first-person shooting experience for me in small chunks. I want to give it a bit more charity, but I've got to say that the digital-only controls combined with its poor level design and low draw distance means that I don't see myself playing this for long, or either on any difficulty above easy anytime soon. Despite all that, it is still a decent budget title with plenty of boomer shooter energy running through it. For better and worse, it is a late 90s first-person shooter through and through. Hybrid might look cheap, but it doesn't play like it. If there are any other obscure first-person shooters you would like me to play, let me know. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and goodbye.